Bike said it was 17 degrees this morning when we woke up, so a little chilly.
The eject button?
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel, and on this episode we do a little bit of much needed social distancing of our own outside the house, and we decided to go to Oregon for a little bit of early season adventure riding, we'll call it. We knew there would probably be a pretty good chance that there would be some snow, but I meet up with Dan once again from Corvallis. But first I meet up with, we'll call him Dan number 2, another good friend of mine who lives in Eastern Oregon, who joined me right here on the ride over from Idaho to the John Day area. We had a pretty good time just riding over some nice twisty roads. You'll see right here that Eastern Oregon has had some massive flooding in the early part of this year, so they've dealt with washed out roads and bridges, but we were told that this was still passable on motorcycles, so went ahead and proceeded on here. You can tell right here the bridge is pretty sagging. Again, I wouldn't drive a truck over it, but for these motorcycles it was just fine. You'll see right here the road is just washed out completely, and there's some construction going off to the right, so we decided just to kind of pull a little U-turn here and take the bypass around this massive hole. Definitely keep these guys here in Eastern Oregon in your thoughts, because they're trying to recover from some pretty devastating flooding. So Dan number 2 and I make our way to John Day, Oregon, where we meet up with, well, we'll call him Dan number 1, so it's not confusing. And Dan number 2 and I part ways, and Dan number 1 and I leave from John Day and head off into the woods to go find camp and just unwind for a few days.
It's probably 2 miles where it'll make a hard bend and we're just going to go straight. Maniac.
Well, it didn't take long till we gained a little bit of elevation and all the white stuff started to show up, and the real adventure begins. You know how it can be when Dan and I get together, so you're kind of in for a treat here, so just sit back and enjoy the show. This is what not to do when you're crossing a rut, right here.
The eject button? I know. I got to the edge and was like, that's not gonna grab. That is not gonna grab. I should have just went straight because I thought this was gonna get bad. Yeah, I had no effort in that whatsoever. Yeah. I have no idea what I was thinking. I zigged when I should have zagged. That works. Yep, looks like good to me. Sure, I can find somewhere right here. Well, we made it to camp. So we got our camp setting up. Nice little log bench over here, or log table. You know, you gotta string all your crap out whenever you get to camp, get it all set up. There's Dan, the infamous Dan. Somebody was nice enough to bring make a fire pit for us and a burn barrel if we actually needed one. If we had a truck, we'd haul that crap out of here. Look at Dan's little camp spot way over here, and it's a little lonesome. Well, yeah, I mean, the bike's kind of like a treadmill at your house. It turns into a clothes hanger when you get done using it. Tent. Can't even see his bike. Look at that view. There is still some snow on the ground. I'll walk back over here to my space. I'm working on putting my airing my air mattress up and getting my tent set up, so I'll kind of show you my makeshift process of that. So I've got my Therm-A-Rest. The downside with this one is it sounds like you're sleeping on a plastic bag, but it's got a high R value, so it'll keep you warm because it's supposed to probably be down, I'm guessing it's going to be down in the mid-20s tonight. So unroll it, and then we take our Therm-A-Rest bag. It's got this little rubber valve in it. You could blow into it, but it just takes forever, and who wants to blow on something when they've been working all day? Not this guy. So then you just basically put some air in it. Tear it up. Let the wind catch it, or give it a little blow like that. This also keeps some moisture and crap like that out of your air mattress. This tent's pretty nice. It's from Cabela's, but it's got a ton of room in it, and it's super lightweight. I should have showed you how big it was, but I'll show it to you tomorrow. But it's got a little place to put your gear on the outside. My Nemo bag. I wonder how far this will follow me. Dude, it's still following me. That's crazy.
ever tell you the license plate that Eric got? Riding dirty. RDN DRT.
That's Eric's?
Yeah.
No way.
I always joke when I say, you know, it looks like you're riding Dr. T, right? He's like, motherfucker, it's riding dirty.
But he got his new license plate and he put riding dirty, but it's riding DRT, so it looks like he says riding Dr. T. That's ridiculous. Oh, what am I missing? Oh, my pillow. The pillow. You've already seen all this stuff if you've seen my camping what I carry video. All this stuff is in there, so this is just all that stuff in action. So I'm gonna you can blow this up with like 2 breaths. And it's done. Or that sleeping bag has a little pocket that this goes in, and then you blow it up, and that way it doesn't move, so we're gonna do that. So in this giant loot bag is all my camera gear. I got my drone in there and a few other things. And then I put some of my food in there. Over here at the bike, it's crazy that I've never done a video of how I pack stuff. But this is kind of a dumbed down version. At the bike, in this one, in these new giant loot panniers, I put all my clothes on this side with a few essentials like my water filter and a few other things in this. And then on this side, I have all my camping essentials. Like here's all my cook stuff in this one. And then my tent and food and whatever else I can throw in there goes in that one. There isn't a real science to it, but on the bike, I've got some tools, my tubes and tire changing stuff. And then on this side is just kind of like, I call it my Let's Make a Deal bag. I just kind of carry a little bit of everything in there, random stuff that I need. And that's pretty much it besides the tank bag. In the tank bag, I've got my GoPro stuff where it's gonna be protected, any falls, which obviously happens a lot with me. And then the essentials like candy, sunglasses, and my pistol. I got a little bit of tropical Skittles and some Peachos. They're the bright side Skittles. And then there's my Costco size box of Mountain House meals. They had it on sale right now with the whole pandemic. So instead of it being like $7 or $8 or more, actually $11, $12 now for a Mountain House meal, they're more like $5.99. That's how it was a smoking deal. So I brought them all because we figured we're not going to see anybody, and then if we get hungry, we have food. Morning coffee. Dan's eating his morning granola. It's a chilly one last night. The bike said it was 17 degrees this morning when we woke up, so a little chilly. Decent night though, because the Nemo sleeping bag, Dan swore by it. I didn't really believe him. But the Nemo was a spoon bag. What is it? What's it called? The Nemo what? Forte.
Forte, yeah.
The Nemo Forte. If you're looking for a freaking solid sleeping bag that's got room in it, that packs down small, and is snow and frost 17 degree tested, pick up one of them suckers, because I am 100% happy with it. I was not cold at all last night. The only thing that was cold was my
face sticking out of it, and then I just bury it back down in there. So very happy with that. That's my bag. This is the frost all over the tent. All these crystals. When I shake it, it just looks like it's snowing. But for a bag that's only rated for 17 or only rated for 20 degrees, and for it to be still warm at 17, because you know, normally if a bag says that it's rated for 20, then really it's probably good down to about 30, 25. 20 is to keep you from dying. But I was like 100% warm last night. So anyway, my little plug there for Nemo. This is not a sponsored ad by Nemo. Like, I paid for my bag. It was not given to me, and it's awesome. So I was walking around the woods trying to find a place to drop some weight, and found a nice little stump here that somebody had already carved out for me. So luckily it hasn't been used in a really long time. Just using the water filter, getting some water. It's not the quickest process, but it works. Out here getting packed up. I set my tent out in the middle of this field so it could get dried out because it was so wet from the dew and the breath and everything this morning. It's starting to get a little bit of overcast. A bit of a breeze, but so the goal today is to ride about 50 to 75 miles or so and find another camp spot along the river and hopefully catch some fish tonight.
muddy as shit now. Whew. We're gonna stay in the flowing water where there's gravel. Just nasty right now. What is it? Caution? Oh, probably it's my flag in my gear trail or something. Oh, I thought that was rock. It is snow. Dude, look at that. Off to the left, this giant rock face. Feel like summer. Yeah, here's that little creek crossing. Oh, is it that dusty? Yes, we're good.
Got some lunch going. Do some chicken teriyaki. This awesome camp spot. We haven't even set up our tents yet, but there's a nice river right there. Hoping to catch some fish. Have that for dinner. Trying to do a little bit of fly fishing here. Can't seem to get them to bite, but it's pretty gorgeous outside though. Yeah, just caught my first fish on this new Tenkara pole. Looks like I'll have dinner tonight. Got our fish cooking here. Got our other little guy there. Over here, Dan's mixing up some noodles. Get our noodles simmering there. And do some instant mashed taters. It's gonna be good.
So the plan for day 3 was basically the same as day 2. Get up, break camp, go ride for a few hours, find a cool camp spot, hang out, be done kind of early. Well, apparently day 3 had other plans for us, and this ended up being one of the roughest days on a motorcycle that we had dealt with in a while. You'll see.
front end just kind of started to wash real slow like. I was just like, I'm not even gonna try. They're so confused. Where do we go? Where do we go? Oh, he's coming back to me. There we go. He's gonna cross me up here. Just jumped a grouse. Glad they did. You scared me, dude. I had no idea you were right there. Yeah, made me jump. Ooh, that's probably why he turned around. What do you think? Uh-oh.
I think it'll be a home stretch once you get to the middle.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
The left side might be better now. I mean, if I could get there, but could have cut me a trench over to that left side, or whichever one, left or right. That might work. Wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. that right there about defeated me. That was rough. Took us about, what, over an hour, huh? Took us easily an hour, hour and a half to get through that. It's about 100 yards long. Watch out when you go around that culvert. Snowmobile tracks. Yeah, so far. Need a break. So we got more snow, of course. Hopefully this is all downhill here. I mean, obviously it is, but I made it to there where that tree is. And then we're just keep going down. Luckily we're using gravity to help us out, but you know, when it's bike's this heavy, it likes to bog down in the snow. So anyway, adventures, right? It's definitely easier for the second person. I say just stay in it.
What's that?
Stay in it.
Yeah, I'm just getting past that one hump right there. That's gonna be the problem.
We'll get you. All right. Hey, just stay on it. This is how deep it is, down to my knees.
Unfortunately, it was right after this where my battery died, and to be honest, we were so whooped that I didn't really care to really video much more. Our goal was to just get the hell out of the snow.
I think we made it through the snow, finally, after about 3.5 hours of beating it, Dan's bike. You have this like perfect hubcap. Yep, it's all about the adventure. Fuck snow. Okay. All right, let's go find some camp. Found camp. Little bit of a fire ring. Well, no, it's not. It's a couple of rocks, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Day 3 camp spot. Got Dan's tent here. Mine over there. Got our fire going. Dan and I part ways tomorrow, and I'm gonna stay either by myself one night, or you guys will get to meet Dan number 2. Hopefully tonight is not as cold as the other nights. So after a good night's rest at camp from being so dang tired from the day before, today was a day that Dan and I had to part ways. He needed to head home for some work things that he had going on, and I had about an 8.5 hour ride before I could be home, so I decided to split that up and meet Dan number 2 in Eastern Oregon just for one more night of staying out in the woods before heading back home. And I just left Dan. Now I'm going to meet my other buddy Dan in camp one more night tonight. And I'm thinking that I'm probably going to be camping out towards LeGrand somewhere. Try to find a pond or some water. Maybe do some fishing. But yeah, that's kind of the plan. So here we go. This was a pretty easy day, mainly highway riding, and Dan shot me some coordinates on where to meet him, and this seemed like it'd be a pretty good spot. Dan coming through strong with the new firewood. Apparently, when a guy with a GS says, "Hey, there's some firewood across the lake, I'm going to run over there with my bike and get some," he means, I'm going to take the log truck over and bring as much wood as we could possibly use in one night. Yeah, buddy. So I wanted to try out the night mode on the iPhone and see how well it did. What do you think? I'm pretty impressed.
Last day of camp. Nice morning. Got coffee brewing.
Well guys, that's pretty much it for this episode. If this video was entertaining, make sure and give it a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't yet, make sure and hit that subscribe button as well as that bell icon. That way you know when the new videos are released. And make sure and join me on Thursdays for Gear and Beer, where I review adventure motorcycle gear, all while having a beer with you guys. Thanks again so much for watching. We'll catch you next time.